Your neighbor might have just made $100,000 on 3 stocks in 3 years, or up 1700%. He's planning early retirement, but top Wall Street analysts are predicting these same stocks will crash in 2026 and take the entire market down with them. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly which stocks are in danger and why the crash is coming, and how to protect your money before it's too late. Because here's what your neighbor doesn't know. While he's celebrating, his shares have been quietly diluted by 164%. The CEOs of Google and Nvidia are saying this technology won't work for another 10 to 20 years. And he's paying 980 times sales for companies that aren't making a single dollar. When this bubble pops, he won't just lose his gains, he might lose everything. I'm going to walk you through the actual numbers, the CEO statements, the valuation comparisons, the shareholder dilution data, everything that professional analysts are looking at right now that has them terrified. This isn't speculation. This is based on public data and market research. Here's how this breaks down. First, the 3 quantum computing stocks that exploded and why they're the most dangerous bubble right now. Second, what the CEOs of Google and Nvidia actually said. And third, the insane valuations nobody's talking about. Fourth, how Japan's crisis makes everything worse. And finally, what smart money is doing right now to prepare. Let's get into it. Right now, everyone's watching AI stocks, but there's a bigger bubble forming, quantum computing. 3 companies just exploded. Rigetti up around 1700%, IonQ up around 850%, and D-Wave up 794%. In just 3 years, your neighbor bought early. Now he's planning to retire. But here's the problem. These companies aren't making money. They're losing cash every day, and they're priced like they've already won. But the game hasn't even started. Quantum computing is real. The tech will change the world one day. But there's one problem. It doesn't work yet. Not really. And the market is pricing these companies like money is coming soon. But it's not. Imagine paying full price for a house that hasn't yet been built. No foundation, no walls, just blueprints. And the builder says it'll take 20 years. That's quantum stocks right now. Here's the crazy part. The biggest tech CEOs are telling us the truth. But nobody's really listening. Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang said useful quantum computers are probably 20 years away. 20 years. Google's CEO Sundar said at least 5 to 10 years that we have to wait. And he compared quantum today to where AI was back in 2010. Think about that. AI in 2010 was nothing, just labs and research. It took until 2022 for ChatGPT to change everything. That's 12 years. The market is valuing quantum companies like they're already Nvidia, but they're not. And these CEOs are screaming at investors to slow down. But nobody listens when portfolios go up every single day. So here are the insane valuations. Quantum computing sales in 2030, maybe around 4 billion. AI sales in 2025, around 390 billion. Companies will spend almost 100 times more on AI this year than quantum in 5 years. But look at prices. IonQ trades at 145 times its sales. D-Wave at around 270 times. Rigetti around 980 times sales. Back in 2015 when AI was starting, Nvidia traded at 3 times sales. Just 3. These quantum companies trade at 50 to 300 times higher than Nvidia did then. That's not smart. That's crazy. It's like paying $1,000 for a $10 pizza that won't be ready for 10 years. But it gets worse. While people buy these stocks, the companies are printing more shares, watering down what you own. In 3 years, D-Wave made 209% more shares. If you owned 1% 3 years ago, you now own less than 0.3%. Rigetti made 164% more shares, and IonQ made 77% more. Compare that to Nvidia in 2010s. Nvidia just made 9% more shares in a whole decade. These quantum companies are printing shares 10 to 20 times faster, using the hype to get cash while regular people chase gains. Your neighbor doesn't know this is happening. He just sees his balance go up. So why 2026? Why are we thinking that's going to be the breaking point? Because bubbles pop when people wake up. The S&P 500 already dropped 5% in November. People are asking if AI made a bubble. But AI works. AI makes money. Quantum? Sales for 2030 are maybe 4 billion, which are nothing. As we go through 2025 into 2026, people will start asking hard questions. When will these companies make money? When will the tech work? The answers will hurt. Not next year, maybe 5 to 10 years. maybe 20, when people realize they're holding stocks worth 900 times sales for tech that won't make money in a decade. Panic starts, and panic spreads fast. Everyone runs for the door at once. And here's the real danger. When quantum pops, it won't stop there. Bubbles never stay small. The dot-com bubble killed the whole entire tech sector. When people got burned on risky tech stocks, they sell everything. They get scared, and they pull all money out. The whole tech sector trades at high prices now. AI stocks, cloud stocks, and chip stocks, they're all priced for a perfect future. But if quantum crashes and reminds everyone that hype doesn't mean anything, that crazy prices are never okay, people will start questioning everything. And when fear starts, prices fall fast, altogether. And here's what even makes it more worse. Remember Japan, when I was talking about it in my other video? And the free money ending? Higher rates making borrowed bets expensive? Quantum stocks are exactly the kind of risky bets people make with borrowed money. When borrowing was free, betting on quantum made sense. But now Japan's rates are rising. Borrowing now costs more. And suddenly holding a stock worth 980 times sales that won't make money for 10 plus years doesn't even make sense. Japan's trade ending puts pressure on all risky bets. When you mix high prices, diluted shares, and no money coming, Japan's trade ending, you get a perfect storm. That's 2026. So let's go back to your neighbor's reality. He's up maybe 1700% on Rigetti, planning early retirement, and he's not watching share count. He's not even checking valuations. He just sees the line go up, and when 2026 comes, he might learn a really hard lesson. Making money in a bubble is easy. Keeping it is very, very difficult. So what are the smart analysts doing? They're not shorting quantum stocks. That's dangerous. Bubbles last longer than you think. But they're cutting back on risky tech, quietly, buying things that do well when markets crash. Some buy gold, some buy dividend stocks, some hold more cash, and then they just wait. They're not scared, but they're ready, because they've seen this before. They know how it ends. The tech is real. Companies might survive, but prices are crazy, and crazy prices always fix themselves. They just make sure they're not holding the bag when everyone runs. So let's get the sight of the bigger picture. Here's what keeps analysts awake, and it's not just quantum. It's everything stacking up. High prices everywhere. Japan ending free money. US debt at 38 trillion. AI taking jobs. Now we can't afford houses. Now we have world tensions on top of that. All together, plus quantum popping, plus nervous markets, that's a recipe for a big crash. The whole market. When regular people bought quantum at the top, see accounts crash, they don't just sell quantum. They sell everything. They panic, and then they start sharing and telling friends, and then panic spreads even more. And that's how small drops become massive crashes. So you have a choice. And let me be clear, quantum computing will change the world one day. Companies working on it might become huge winners eventually, but today's prices are crazy. The timeline is much longer than markets think. Companies are printing shares like crazy, and markets are shaky. That mix leads to one thing. A crash is coming. Probably 2026, but maybe not. Who knows? But you have to be ready. Smart analysts aren't scared of technology. They're scared of people, of greed, of FOMO, of bubbles, because bubbles always end the same way, with a crash. So subscribe to Lion Finance, where we help you see what's coming before it hits you. We don't follow hype, but we follow data. And the data screams 2026 will be rough. Don't be your neighbor. Be smarter.